All right, so Cleveland takes care of business on Sunday Night Football and takes down the Giants. I'm not really surprised to see this happen. I mean, this is a different Cleveland squad. I know everybody's used to seeing Cleveland lose and choke in these type of moments, but I think the Cleveland Browns, they understand the moment, and this is not the same Browns team. If you saw how they played Monday night against the Ravens, you will understand this is a legit team. This is a good team. They're not going to be sitting there and choking. I've already explained this to Browns fans, man. Like, Cleveland understands the moment. Getting swept by Baltimore this season actually is a bit scary for their playoff hopes. Because now that Baltimore is winning, if Cleveland slips up once, they could miss the playoffs. The Dolphins and the Colts aren't guaranteed to lose their final two games. If Cleveland slips up once, it may be over. At the same time, Baltimore's not guaranteed to win their final two games, but it could go down to that. You know, if Cleveland loses one game, and Baltimore wins their final two games, and Cleveland and Baltimore end up with the same record, assuming the Colts and the Dolphins don't lose, Cleveland gets booted out, and Baltimore takes that 7th spot for the playoffs because Cleveland will fall all the way from the 5 to the 8, and they will just be out. They understand this. They're trying to make the playoffs. They understand the moment, so they're not trying to mess around. Now, in terms of the game, it really just came down to 3 drives for me. 3 drives really determined this game. In the first half, the Giants had 3 opportunities in the red zone to take care of business. In the 3 red zone opportunities they had in the first half, they came up with 3 points. They screwed up on 2 fourth-down attempts. The first one was a fake field goal. I don't know what trick play they were trying to pull on that one. Ridiculous. Didn't do anything for them. The second one, they just straight up said, we're going to go for it on 4th down. This is Joe Judge being aggressive at the goal line. And that did them no favors. They didn't even pick it up. Half yard short. Boom. It is what it is. And then the third one, they had an opportunity. I think it was 2nd down. Pass should have been caught in the end zone for a touchdown, but it is what it is. You came up with 3 points in 3 red zone trips in the first half. That basically ended the game for me because I knew Cleveland was not going to have much of a problem moving the ball down the field and putting up some points. They weren't going to be explosive, and they weren't explosive today, but I knew that they would do just enough to get the job done because the Giants were going to have trouble moving the ball. Now, for the most part, in the first half, they did relatively well, but in the second half, the defense of Cleveland just shut that down. Like, they were not giving that up. Now, of course, Giants defense did step up and do a good job trying to slow down Baker and the offense, but like I said, when the offense for the Giants ain't doing anything, what can you honestly expect to happen? It really came down to those 3 drives. You got 3 points out of it. It is what it is. That was pretty much the game. And it's sad, too, because the Giants, they really had an opportunity to gain back possession of the NFC East. Washington lost their game against Seattle. They had an opportunity to possibly win that game. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get in the end zone. It is what it is. So Washington lost that game, and the Giants were sitting right here in the driver's seat. They could win this game against Cleveland, take sole possession of the NFC East, and as long as they win out, which would be difficult because next week they got Baltimore, but if they were to find a way to win out, they take the NFC East. Instead, you lose here, and Washington still stays in first place, and they're on track to winning the NFC East. So that's kind of the situation there. You know, both of these teams are fighting to make the playoffs. One team showed up, the other team couldn't do much. You know, it is what it is, man. Colt McCoy on the offense, they had opportunities in the first half, couldn't capitalize on it. Second half, there was not much to do. So it is what it is. You just got to move on. The NFC East is still up for grabs. Who knows what's going to happen in the final 2 games for Washington. So we'll see what happens. I still believe Washington's going to win the division and make the playoffs. That's my pick, but we'll see what happens. Because the Giants going up against Baltimore next week. Baltimore looks rejuvenated. They look incredibly dangerous. You got Lamar Jackson playing. He's looking in MVP form again. I mean, dude's out here making plays again. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. It's going to be a tough game for them. If they want to stay alive and find a way to take back the NFC East and make the playoffs, they're going to have to figure something out. But I don't know. Maybe playoffs is not what the Giants are trying to do at this point. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, Cleveland, well done. You got the job done. And I know people are always looking at Cleveland, expecting them to fail, but this is not the same Browns team. But listen, the Browns have always had talent. They've always had talent on their team. But what they've been lacking for so long was a quarterback that can come in and be productive. A young quarterback that can be productive and make plays on the offense. He can lead the offense. What you also were missing was a head coach that can come in and integrate a system for that young quarterback as well as a winning culture. And this season, Stefanski has done that. He's created this winning culture for them, and he's integrated a system that fits perfectly for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's not a pocket quarterback. I mean, he definitely can make throws in the pocket, but everybody knows the best way to beat the Browns is you want to stop the run and keep Baker in the pocket. Baker is more effective when he gets to go out of the pocket. When you get him out of the pocket with those rollouts and using the play action, that is what Baker thrives in. He's not a pocket quarterback that just stands in the pocket and he's delivering ball down. That's not him. That's not his game. He's at his best when he can roll out, when he gets out of the pocket, he can extend the plays. That's what Baker does. And Stefanski understands that. So he's integrated a system that's worked for them. And that's why they're having this success this year. So give the Browns their credit. They came out here tonight. The offense was flowing exactly that way. The same system that they've been doing all season. Came out, did what they needed to do, and pretty much got the job done. So congratulations to the Browns. They are 10-4 on the season. First 10-win season since what? 2006? It's been a long time since they've had a 10-win season. So congrats to the Browns. You haven't clinched the playoff spot yet, and it may come down to week 17. It honestly could come down to week 17. So circle that Pittsburgh game and understand that your season could be on the line with that game. Now, hopefully, it doesn't come to that because either the Dolphins or the Colts lose. But just understand that the Dolphins and Colts end up winning both of their final two games. Understand that if you lose to Pittsburgh and Baltimore wins the game against the Giants and Cincinnati, Baltimore is taking your playoff spot. So, all in all, even without that, let's say the Colts don't lose, the Dolphins lose, and Baltimore takes that spot. So, I don't know. It could be weird. Just circle week 17 because the Steelers are still looking to get the number 1 seed away from Kansas City. They're trying to get that back. So, the number 1 seed could come down to week 17, which means the Steelers may play their starters. So just be prepared, Cleveland. It's going to be a crazy final 2 weeks of the season. A lot of playoff implications. The AFC is so competitive with these playoff spots. It's really coming down to the wire, and we'll see what happens. But with that being said, good job on the Browns. You got the win. This was a solid win. You didn't, just like Baltimore, you guys did not fall into this trap game, coming off that high and how you were able to score in that game on Monday Night Football. You came back out here and you got the job done. You did what you needed to do. You made the plays and you got it done. So congrats to you. As for the Giants, I don't know if you're trying to make the playoffs, but y'all better figure something out. Y'all can't just assume Washington's going to lose their final 2 games. So if you don't make the playoffs, it is what it is, Figure something out. With that being said, that's all I got. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.